There are 40 unique vehicles in Mario Kart World and 50 unique characters in the game. I'm going to try my best to assign one vehicle to every character in Mario Kart World. What I decided the best method would be is to have all 24 main characters get assigned to one vehicle. There are 26 NPC drivers. However, 6 of the 26 NPC drivers have been playable in a previous Mario Kart game before, that being Drybones in Mario Kart DS, Wiggler in Mario Kart 7, and then Nabbit, Hammerbro, Monty Mole, and Chargin' Chuck in Mario Kart Tour. So I'm going to give all of those NPC characters their own unique vehicle to own. That means 30 characters have 30 vehicles, but there will be 10 more vehicles for the remaining 20 NPC characters, 2 NPC characters that have not been playable in a Mario Kart game before this game per vehicle going forward. First up is the standard cart, which I'm assigning to Nabbit. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm not giving this one to Mario of all things. I'm giving this to Nabbit. I think he's the clear-cut main NPC character because honestly, Nabbit shouldn't even be an NPC character. There's only one Nabbit. I think Nabbit is still pretty fire as a character, and I think he deserves to own the standard cart. Next up is the rally cart, and I'm assigning this one to 2 NPC characters. The first one is Goomba, and then the second one is Swoop. For Goomba's case, I mean, he's just a basic Mario enemy. He's one of the most basic Mario enemies in the entire series and franchise, so he deserves to rock one of the more basic carts that debuted in Mario Kart World. And as for Swoop, it was an interesting pick because there's honestly a lot of Swoop sponsor memorabilia on all sides of the vehicle. I think on 3 out of the 4 sides of the vehicle, there is a Swoop logo and name frame. I kind of think that means it's Swoop's vehicle, right? Next up is the plush buggy, and this one's going to Birdo. Obviously, it's a combination between whether it's going to Birdo or to Peach, but Peach has another vehicle that's a lot more like her, and Birdo, this one just fits like a charm. You have the word ribbon in the back and a Birdo bow somewhere on the chair of the vehicle as well, so it's very Birdo coded. I couldn't see this one going to any other character besides Birdo. Next is the baby blooper, and this one's going to baby Rosalina. It's a little weird looking back now because baby Rosalina is a character that not many people like at all, and the baby blooper is the meta vehicle in Mario Kart World. It's the baby blooper, so it's got to go to a baby character, and baby Rosalina kind of rocks that gray blank / neutral color palette. I don't know, I'm trying to give an explanation. That's the best I got. I think baby Rosalina can rock the color palette of gray here. Next up is the zoom buggy, and I'm giving this one to Koopa Troopa. It's a pretty simple explanation for this one. I think it just has a lot of Koopa Troopa branding throughout the entirety of the vehicle, and it's got his branding, so of course it's got to go to Koopa. Next up is the Chargin' Truck. Boy, I'm sure you guys have no idea who I'm giving this one to. I'm giving this one to Chargin' Chuck. Let's just move on. It's so simple. Next up is the Hot Rod. I'm giving this one to Toadette. Yeah, I mean, this one's interesting because it's hard to give Toadette a vehicle in this game that I feel like she would outright own, but I felt like the Hot Rod made more sense because there is some Toad branding on it, and a lot of vehicles in this game have Toad branding, so I feel like Toadette is only fair to have one of the Toad branded vehicles, and I know it's more Fire Flower coded than anything, but Toadette was also a playable character in Mario Bros. Wonder, so she was able to equip the Fire Flower power-up at some point, so it's not completely out of Toadette's realm to be able to rock this vehicle as her own. Next up is the Ribbit Revstar, and I give this one to baby Luigi. It's just such a cute and tiny vehicle, so I felt like a character that was of that stature should deserve the status of being able to own this vehicle. It seems very simple. The fact that it's green coded means that it's got to go to the green baby, so baby Luigi it is. Next up is the Roadster Royale, and I'm giving this one to Peach. Of course, this vehicle looks so regal and it's fitting for a monarch, and that's pretty much what the vibe and the aura that Peach is giving off, especially when she rocks this vehicle. It's just all pink, just looks very majestic, and that is the way Peach likes it. Next up is the B-Dasher, and I'm giving this one to Mario. Absolutely. I'm not giving Mario the standard cart. I'm not even giving him the pipe frame. No, I'm giving him the B-Dasher. This has been Mario's cart since Mario Kart DS. This was one of his 3 carts in that game. Mario is absolutely getting the B-Dasher. I don't see him owning any other vehicle because this one is his. I don't see anyone else owning the B-Dasher because it's Mario's. Next up is the Bitty Buggy, and this is our next double combination because I had to. I'm giving this one to the Parabitty-Bud, of course, but I'm also giving this one to the Snowman. So obviously the Parabitty-Bud makes sense. It's the Parabitty-Bud in a Bitty Buggy vehicle, but the Snowman, you guys are thinking, what the heck is he thinking here? My ideal explanation is that the Snowman, his base is just round, and I feel like he needs a vehicle that's able to support that round frame of his, and so the giant snowball that's on his lower half, I feel like would make sense to fit into the circular vehicle section of the Bitty Buggy. I'm kind of going off the rails here, but I'm reaching. Let me have this, please. Next up is the Tiny Titan. I'm giving this one to baby Mario. Simple explanation. This one was in Mario Kart Wii, that vehicle, and so baby Mario was able to drive the Tiny Titan in Mario Kart Wii. It came back in Mario Kart World, and it came back in a red design, which was baby Mario's color of the Tiny Titan in Mario Kart Wii, so I gotta give this one to baby Mario. Next up is the Stellar Sled, and I'm giving this one to Rosalina. Rosalina rocked the Stellar Sled sled as early as the very first gameplay footage of Mario Kart World, the reveal footage in January when the Switch 2 as a whole got announced. So of course that means you already know Rosalina has to own this sled. Next up is the Real Racer. This one's going to none other than King Boo. I mean, this was a pretty obvious choice as well. Real Racer, when King Boo's track is Boo Cinema, so film real for the Real Racer. That's how it's spelled as well. There's a little Boo trophy statue thing on the front of the vehicle itself. It's very gold and it looks really nice, but that is a Boo. It's kind of hard to spot, but obviously with that being a Boo, it has to go to none other than King Boo. Next up is the Bumblebee, and I'm giving this one to Stingbee and Pokey. So remember what I said, I can't give this one just solely to Stingbee because Stingbee has not been playable in a previous marker game, and therefore he was forced to have to share a vehicle with somebody else. So I had to give this one to Pokey. Obviously with the Stingbee, it makes sense for the Stingbee to rock the Bumblebee. It's a Bumblebee on a Bumblebee vehicle, but for Pokey, I kind of just liked the color scheme. Pokey got that yellow and green color scheme like a cactus, and the Bumblebee vehicle sort of just fits Pokey's color scheme the best in my opinion. Next up is the Carpet Flyer. This one's going to Daisy. Of course, we're rocking Daisy in that whole Arabic Super Mario Land vibe. She's rocking Shy Guy Bazaar as her own area now, and she's able to have the Aladdin Carpet Flyer, which is incredible. It's even got the Daisy flower somewhere in there in its design towards the front of the vehicle. So that kind of means that Daisy pretty much owns this vehicle as her own. I don't see her owning any other one in this game, so give this one to Daisy. Next up is a Cloud9, and I'm giving this one to Lakitu. Very simple on this one. I think you all knew this one was going to Lakitu. Next up is the Blastronaut 3, and I'm giving this one to Donkey Kong. Believe it or not, Donkey Kong's getting the Blastronaut 3, and if you guys see DK Spaceport, it would make sense because DK Spaceport is practically a rocket launch base, and the Blastronaut 3 looks very similar to the rocket that it blasts off of DK Spaceport. Next up is the Big Horn, and this is one where I might lose some of you guys. We're starting off with Cow. Of course, Cow makes sense as the Big Horn. It's got the cow horns, or the bull horns, I should say, on front of the vehicle. It's got the little ring as well. It's very cow coded and it fits for the cow from Moo Meadows, but I also gave this one to the Conctor. Yes, Cow needed a partner and another NPC to give this vehicle to, and I had to give it to somebody else, and there was running out of NPCs and none of them really fit the Big Horn with the cow, but somebody had to go there, so I had to give it to the Conctor, and I had to give it to somebody because again, Cow has not been playable, so he wasn't able to get a vehicle all to himself. If there's another NPC outside of Conctor that has not been previously playable in a Mario Kart game that you think works better for the Big Horn than Conctor does to accompany Cow with, let me know, please. Next up's the Lil Dumpy, and I'm giving this one to Toad. Yeah, Toad's getting this one. Believe it or not, you might think why this should not go to a baby character because it's literally a toy truck with a toy shovel, and I thought about it as well, but it's got so much Toad branding on it. The Toad logo's on the back of the vehicle, and it's just Toad's factory colored, so I feel like Toad has to own this vehicle. Next up is the Mecha Trike, and I'm giving this one to Bowser Jr. It looks a lot like the Koopa Clown car, but honestly a little bit more menacing. It's got the Bowser spike circling around it, and it's a trike, so it's very bouncy, and it's got a little spinning knob on the back of the vehicle too to make it seem like it's somewhat of a toy, and Bowser Jr. is pretty famous for having like a toy room and stuff as opposed to a Bowser castle. Next up is the Pipe Frame, and I'm giving this one to Monty Mole. Guys, come on, I had to do something here. I was running out of options. Monty Mole just made sense to fit the Pipe Frame. The Pipe Frame's a small vehicle, so I feel like it had to fit a small character. Monty Mole just kind of fit the Pipe Frame perfectly. You probably would have wanted me to have a Super Nintendo character fit there, or maybe someone from Mario Kart 7 because that's when the Pipe Frame came back as a vehicle, but I just figured a smaller character made sense, and Monty Mole was a good option in my opinion. Next up is the Bulldozer, and I'm giving this one to Wario. I think Wario is somewhat synonymous with bullet bills. It's not as synonymous as Bowser, but I keep thinking of the final scene in Mario Super Sluggers, so I feel like Wario in that sort of instance sort of fits the Bulldozer vibe. Next up is the Standard Bike, and I'm giving this one to the Hammer Bro. Yeah, a Hammer Bro, another classic NPC driver that of course was also in Mario Kart Tour. He gets a vehicle all to himself, and I'm giving this one the Standard Bike. Next up is the Rally Bike, and the Rally Bike is going to Luigi. Yeah, Luigi doesn't get a cool vehicle like the B-Dash or like his brother Mario does, but the Rally Bike's not that bad either. It's a little bit more dirt bike-esque compared to the Standard Bike, and it's got that green-white colors, and it's based off of Famicom colors, so you know Luigi was already around during the Famicom era, and honestly the colors kind of give me Fire Luigi vibes. Next up, the Cute Scoot is going to Baby Peach. Of course, you got a vehicle called the Cute Scoot that is literally shaped like a scooter. It's got to go to Baby Peach. I almost gave this to DK because if you put DK on this bike, the Cute Scoot turns into a banana, but I figured since the Cute Scoot is one of those vehicles that changes design based on which character you give it to, I could ignore that aspect for now and just give it to Baby Peach because I feel like it fit Baby Peach the best compared to the other characters in the game. Next up is the Mock Rocket, and I'm giving this one to the one and only Yoshi. Yeah, you guys already already know Yoshi deserves the Mach Rocket because he was able to ride the Mach bike in Mario Kart Wii, and that is what this design vehicle is most inspired of. Next up is the Hyper Pipe, and I'm giving this one to the Piranha Plant and the Side Stepper. Interesting combo of NPCs to give this one to, but I think you guys know where I'm going with this one. With the Piranha Plant, you guys already know the Piranha Plants are very synonymous with pipes. They're usually always in pipes or coming out of pipes to either spit fire at Mario. For the Side Steppers, there's a little POW block on the underside towards the pedals of the Hyper Pipe bike itself, and because of that, that means it's sort of a reference to the original Mario Brothers games where Side Steppers made their debut as enemies coming out of pipes. Next up's the Toon Thumper, and I'm giving this one to Baby Daisy. Obviously, you think maybe I should give it to the cow because when they first revealed the cow, this was the vehicle that he was riding, but obviously the cow just fits so much better with the big horn in this instance. The Toon Thumper, I think, is just a smaller vehicle that was able to fit a smaller character, and so Baby Daisy, I felt like, was the character to rock that. Next up's the W Twin Chopper. I give this one to Waluigi. I wasn't sure who to give this vehicle first, but then there was a dead giveaway that made me realize, yeah, this goes to Waluigi, and it's the fact that at the very front of the vehicle, you can see Waluigi's big mustache in a metallic motorcycle-esque design, but it is very clearly Waluigi's mustache, and so since his mustache is on the vehicle as a design piece, it's got to go to Waluigi. Nobody else owns this bike. Next up is the Fin Twin. I'm giving this one to Cheep Cheep and Fishbone. Obviously, the two fishes that are playable in Mario Kart World deserve to have the fish bike. Obviously, the Fin Twin feels like it's a Cheep Cheep Falls type of bike, so the Cheep Cheep can obviously get that one, and then the Fishbone, you would think, just gets a more menacing looking vehicle since the CPU Fishbone doesn't really control the Fish Twin at all, but it's a fish, and I think the Fishbone can rock the fish bike in my instances here. Next up is the Rob Hog, and I'm giving this one to Pauline. I love the Rob Hog. It's probably my favorite vehicle in the entire game, so I had to give this one to someone special, and I feel like Pauline was that character because Pauline, of course, debuted in 81, which means she was around when Rob was available as a toy and helped save the video game industry and all of that jazz, so I felt like maybe there was a little bit of a connection there. It's very loose just because of that, and because there wasn't any other character that I felt like could fit the Rob Hog. Maybe Mario, but I already gave him the B-Dasher, so give this one to Pauline. Next up, the Dolphin Dasher. I'm giving this one to the Dolphin, obviously, and the Penguin. Yeah, of course, once again, the Dolphin cannot own a vehicle by himself in my instance because the Dolphin has not been playable in a Mario Kart game before this game, so we had to share this vehicle with somebody else, and I think the Penguin's the best choice because the Penguin is all blue, so we're rocking blue on blue with Dolphin Dasher, and we got to rock blue on blue with Penguin Dolphin Dasher. Next up is the Locomoto, and I went with Shy Guy. You guys already know I think Shy Guy is the train conductor. He's got the Perplex Express in Mario Party 8. He's rocking the trains in Calamari Desert, so Shy Guy's very familiar with them trains, and so he's got to rock the train themed bike. Obviously, that's how it's got to be. Next up, the Funky Dory. I'm giving this one to the Pianta and the Cataquack. Come on, you guys already knew because this is a very beach themed vehicle. It's already a water hovercraft. This is a beach themed vehicle, and I had to give it to some beach themed characters, and so the two NPCs that were left on the board to be able to have a beach themed type of vehicle were these two, and I felt like it fit them both pretty well. Next up is the Junkyard Hog, and before I say anything, this was definitely my throwaway pick. I couldn't get anything perfect to match this vehicle, but I went with the Peepa and the Coin Coffer. It doesn't really work out with either of these two. I don't think any of them fit as well. I think the Peepa is kind of funny because the primary color of the Junkyard Hog is sort of like an off-white in a way, and the Peepa is obviously a full-blown white ghost like Boo and King Boo for sure. And then the Coin Coffer, a little interestingly, I feel like maybe Coin Coffer is taking the Junkyard Hog to the junkyard or from the junkyard to maybe try and trade it in and get a little bit of a profit off of it since he's all about them coins. Next up is the Lobster Roller, and I'm giving this one to Wiggler. The only reason I'm giving this to Wiggler is because it requires you to literally almost be on your stomach to ride the Lobster Roller with how far you have to go forward. And since Wiggler is probably the tallest character in Mario Kart World and conform to the way the Lobster Roller is designed to be ridden, so I think that's probably the best fitting vehicle for a character of Wiggler's size. Next up is the Dread Sled. I'm giving this one to Dry Bones. Of course, Dry Bones is eligible to have one vehicle to himself, so I'm gonna give him a dastardly sled, which is the Dread Sled. Obviously, there's no vehicles like the Dry Bomber or the Dry Bones cart that came back from Mario Kart DS. The Dread Sled with some flames on it to kind of match the lava vibes of Dry Bones Burnout is interesting, and I think that kind of works out for a character like Dry Bones. What do you guys think? Our penultimate vehicle is the Rallygator, and this one is going to the Rocky Wrench and Spike. Rocky Wrench, I feel like, was an easy choice for this vehicle because he's got massive claws, so the Rocky Wrench is able to use a vehicle that has big claws on the side of it as well, and the Spike is throwing spike balls at everybody while the vehicle itself has spike tires, and of course there's spiky fingers coming out of the vehicles themselves, and it's also green like Spike, so I think Spike can maybe fit this vehicle more than some of you might think. Last but not least is the Bowser Bruiser. It's going to Bowser. These was the easiest choice I could make. This was the first choice I made because it's Bowser's vehicle. It's named after Bowser, and it's got Bowser's face in the front of the vehicle, this vehicle was going to no one else but Bowser, and I don't think anyone's going to debate me on that. But let me know what you guys think of the video. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Let me shout out my wall of gold members. We got T-Main, Jesse Wadler, Escape, Sparky Wolf, Millowell 108, E for Every Gamer Plus, Rogue 3, Sineva, Cats, Jack M44, Cool IB, Sauce, Captain Mudkip, Ritz Games, Lila, and DJ Beatcraft. You guys are incredible. Thank you for your support, and thank you to all my members for supporting the channel as well. You guys are incredible. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and thank you so much for supporting the channel the extra way that you do. As for everybody else, thank you so much for watching the video. Please feel free to subscribe if you're new. We're trying to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so feel free to subscribe. Stay all pro, and I am out of here.